What's going on, YouTube, man? It's your boy, the True Raw Gaming. I don't wrap it up for you, man. I don't sugar for you. I'm just gonna get that shit to you. Raw, man. In today's video, we're doing 3 dueling tips or 3 dueling mistakes that you guys make. We did a poll a couple days ago, and you guys voted for this video, so here we are. Before we get into this video, I just want to say I do apologize, man. I I went 2 weeks without dropping a video because I get the video and I get the idea and I start putting stuff together. And then I get another idea and I start putting stuff together for that one. And then I get another idea and I just keep going and going and going and going and going. Like right now I have like 30 video ideas, but then I keep making up more ideas before I even finish. So I do apologize. My brain never cuts off. It just keeps going. But beside that, let's get straight into the video, man. Number 1 mistake is you guys are not disguising your rhythm for these duels. What I mean by disguising your rhythm, we need to understand that this is a duel in an actual duel game mode, not the one-on-ones that you find in Dominion. So everything here is already under a microscope. Everything is enhanced. The awareness is enhanced. Every little detail is being paid attention to. So you guys need to make sure you're disguising your rhythm. Now, when you're disguising your rhythm, what you're looking at is the pacing, your mix-ups, your style of play. Those things are considered your rhythm. Now, they are tailored to the character as well as the player's play style. You need to disguise this because what happens is a lot of you guys try to get in your bread and butter mix-ups off the rip, and then once its first round is over and the guys got your number, you have nothing else to do that. Now, when I play online and I teach some of the guys I'm playing with online, the same analogy that I used is getting in the door. Right, getting in the door. Now we can say the door is getting into the house from the outside, right? The front door. There are only one door to get into the front door, correct? It's the door. But there are many different methods of getting into that door. There's different ways to get to that door, right? You have the sidewalk that you can walk to the sidewalk and get up to the door. You can cut through the grass and take a shortcut and get to the door. You can go through the driveway area and then go up to the door. So that's three ways right there. There's many ways to get into the door. Now, with my example, because I play Shinobi, when I'm taking different methods of getting to the door, firstly, when I'm playing against guys who are like online, pub matches, stuff like that, I'll do my dodge forward mix-ups. I'll do my dodge forward kick and stuff like that. I'm really pressuring you to force you to deal with it. I'm forcing my mix-ups on you, and I'm leaving you with no other option but to fight me. That is not going to work with better players. When I'm playing in the competitions, when I'm playing against sweatier players, stuff like that, I'm going to allow you to follow into my mix-ups. I'm going to pull back a little bit. And I'm going to force you to come into me. Now, the bread and butter mix-ups and the rhythm with Shinobi is really around the unreactable bashes and the sickle rain, that type of stuff. So instead of me dodging forward and chasing you down and pressuring you with high aggressive offense with kicks and stuff, that won't work on a better player. So I switch it by going to a different method of getting to the door where I'm pulling backwards, I'm backlighting, right? I might be doing some little fakes just to cancel out of into a backflip to catch you trying to attack me, and I punish you. That is what I mean by disguising your rhythm. Now, I might want to do one thing and it might not work, but at the end of the day, I'm still getting the same type of mix-ups with the kick and the sickle rain because I can do it from the back roll or dodging forward. Hopefully that makes sense. Number 2, this has to be probably the most important one for a vast majority of players, is the capitalization on transitions. You guys are not emphasizing transitions being very important in a fight. Now, what I mean by transitioning, I'm specifically talking about the momentum shifts. Now, if you're not familiar with momentum shifts, in the basic term, that's a very good common example of momentum shifts is if you're getting parried, right? Let's say you throw an unblockable mix-up, right? Obviously, you can feint it, you can throw it, things of that nature. Let's say he parries your unblockable, right? This is with any character. If he parries your unblockable, your offense automatically stops right there. You're parried, you can't go any further, he's landing his punish, and now here comes the pressure from him attacking you. That is a momentum shift. So what I mean by capitalizing on the momentum shifts is a lot of you guys are doing what's called cashing in. All right. When we say cashing in, that means you're getting your safest damage, your guaranteed damage, and you're calling it off. Right. A lot of you guys are doing that, and instead of you're not upping the pressure, upping the tempo, and forcing him to get himself out of the combo. Now, the thing is, there are two different methods of actually doing mix-ups. This will go into another playlist that I'm going to start, but I'm going to give you guys a sneak peek now. This is a form of mix-ups, right? You have your cash-ins, you got your combo resets, and you got your, your pressure type mix-ups, right? Your cash-ins are going to be your safer bet, right? They're going to be your safer bet. They're going to be your guaranteed combos. But when you want to capitalize on that, you want to try as much as possible to extend this damage. You want to use combo resets. You want to use high pressure mix-ups. You want to stop finishing your string. So if your combo finishes with a light finisher, right? If it's an undodgeable light, you might not want to do the undodgeable light, because after that, your frame advantage is gone. Now your combo is over with and he's able to get back on offense, or goes back to neutral. However, you want to just leave your mix-ups ending open, right? You want to finish the mix-up and feint to neutral and stand there for a second and then continue your offense. Mix up the timing. That is what I mean by emphasizing and capitalizing on the momentum shifts. Third one, this goes into that. You guys are not managing the tempo or the pressure. This is pretty much right with transition. There are two different types of pressure. There is offensive pressure and there's defensive pressure, right? Now, a lot of players do not have any sort of defensive pressure whatsoever. I would say probably about 75% of the player base has no defensive pressure. If you're not familiar with defensive pressure, it is very, very essential when you're trying to fight against someone who is actually really good, if not better than you. Defensive pressure essentially is your defense is so good that it is forcing your opponent to be uncomfortable, and it opens him up by him making mistakes because he's uncomfortable. Typically, this is what we call in competitive is your stare game. Your stare game has to be on point if you're trying to beat someone who's really good. If you're not capable of staring at somebody and making them uncomfortable, it's not going to work. If your defense is completely trash, it's not going to work. If you don't have the confidence of parrying, it's not going to work. If you don't have good game knowledge and knowing when to do certain things, it's not going to work. That is what that's really what it comes down to. A lot of guys are not going to have defensive pressure because it takes a lot of game knowledge, a lot of experience to have that type of pressure. If we eliminate that, offensive pressure has to be on point. Has to be on point. A lot of you guys think you guys have offensive pressure, but in reality, you don't. You just have good mix-ups. There's a difference between having pressure and good mix-ups. You can have good mix-ups and still be a good player, but if you have no pressure with the good mix-ups, you're not going to be a great player, if that makes sense. An example would be if I'm Shinobi, right? I'm going to probably say, let's do a basic example. Light, finish, backflip. Dodge, might come around, light, backflip into kick, right? Backflip after getting my punish, and I stand around. Now, that's not offensive pressure. That's probably good mix-ups because obviously it's probably landing. It's good mix-ups, but that's not pressure. Pressure is me forcing you to make a decision. You don't have another option. The only option is yourself getting you out of there. There's no one else in this arena who's going to stop the mix-ups. There's no one else in this arena who's going to interfere with the one-on-one. There's no one else who's going to parry for you. There's no one who's going to peel for you. There's no one who's going to throw a feet to stop me from hitting you. The only person that can stop me from hitting you is yourself. That is pressure. The pressure, it pretty much is there is no other option but yourself. So if you want to have a passive defense, like I explained in my other videos, passive defenses are like not going to work against an actual good high pressure offense. So that's the simplest way I can explain it. Hopefully you guys understand what I'm saying now. If you guys learned anything from this video, if you guys need any tips or any help, make sure you guys go ahead and add me on Xbox, man. I'm XRyuChiOniX. I'll give you guys some help. If you guys got clips, send them in. We're going back to clip reviews, man. If you guys enjoyed this video or any of my content, if you guys have any kind of like recommendations for videos, go ahead and drop a comment down below, man. I'll wrap it up for you, man. I don't sugarcoat it for you. I'm just gonna get it straight to you raw, man. Thank y'all for coming out.